and actually hitting the target and making chances, we can improve in that aspect. But for this coach, I just think he's too lackadaisical when it comes to his style of coaching. And this is not what the girls need. So, yeah, this is what I feel about today, especially.
All right. Let me just quickly say before I jump to Sulaiman, I'm also live on YouTube. So if anybody would like to join on YouTube, I'm trying to go cross platforms. I've said it for various reasons, but today I'm testing out our YouTube live as well. So if anybody wants to go live on YouTube, I'm going to put the link out there as well so that you can join us, and you can also send a request to join the chat and join the conversation. Okay, so who's that? Sulaiman, over to you. What did you think of the game today? How are you disappointed? How are you feeling?
I think you already know my thoughts. we were talking throughout the game. You said something about the last time Nigeria didn't medal was 98. I actually went to look it up. It was 2010.
Sorry, who's that? Somebody needs to go on mute. Who's that?
Sorry, it's me, Joe. Okay, sorry, Mr. Sulaiman, sorry to cut you short. I respect you so much, yeah?
If you respect him, why don't you hold on now?
Okay. No verse, I beg, no verse. And as the matter they carry me for mind, I just want to talk so that he go wrap everything up as number one way be. Say captain no they two talk, captain we just talk wrap everything up. That's just why.
All right, go on.
I have to love Nigerians. One, we don't know how to wait for our turn, and then two, when we want to stylishly jump the line, we now start posting the other person.
Go on. Sulaiman or anybody, just keep going. Say what you want to say.
Sorry about that. Sorry. It's just out of. But you can go on, Ogami. You can go on.
You don't toast us finish now. After you don't toast us finish, you now begin. Go ahead. You said the thing is hot, so finish the matter. The rest of your mind.
Sorry. Basically, I don't want to come into this live, but I just feel like I need to say something. I didn't watch the match today because I knew what the outcome is going to be. You understand? I'm not talking about the match. I'm talking about the administrative part of the whole system. I've said this several times. The same mistake every time, and we're expecting ourselves. We're expecting different results. That's just what is boiling in me. You keep on owing people money. You keep on owing them money. You keep on owing them money, and you expect them to perform. In project management, if funds is not circulating, your project will not move forward. It's just the. Oga, I know you will fit talk. Oga Sulaiman, please, no verse.
Are you a project manager? Sorry, I thought I'm a project manager.
Sort of. I don't think
I'll be very honest,
Yeah.
Since we lost the game to Morocco, it's just been one domino effect after the other, right?
Yeah.
And I know you say we can't blame the coach, we can't do this, we can't do that, but the buck stops with him. This is the unfortunate part, right? Because as much as how will I put this? I think after I watched Assistant speak, it just kind of it killed my spirit. Like it nearly killed my spirit, because here you see a team where the players are complaining that they're being owed money, right?
Yeah.
And one of their star players goes on and praises the FA president and says in her words, "It's really amazing the kind of effort you put in. Thank you so much for the work you put in to make sure that we have the best football in our national team." This is a day after her team went on strike for being owed money, having not been paid a dime since the tournament started. and then the team member goes and gives that speech. I mean, man, there's life, you know. Here we are. We're busy fighting for Nigerian women's football, championing, like literally championing for them, right? I just sent out a pitch, and I'm actually doing some edits now, doing some video edits for work. And one of the pitch I sent out was something along the lines of one of our Super Eagles players. And I'm like, why do I even bother at times? Because I just feel like the players themselves don't play.
Oh, they don't.
The players themselves do not care. It's sad because when you look at the whole structure, from the head to the coach, it's just not. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. Like the tactics has been found out. This guy wants to play Onumonu as a deep line playmaker, so to speak. Drop, hold up, play, turn, throw the ball to the wingers to run in, right? Whether it's Gift Monday on one side or Odega on the other today, or in previous matches, which in Akanu and Rashida Tajibadi, right? All the opposition has to just sit back. Sit back and you figure Nigeria out. That's what you have to do. Don't play a high line. Because Ohale's long ball is not going to go anywhere. It's just going to go back to your goalkeeper. There's no point. The reason why we scored against Cameroon was because Cameroon actually wanted to counter. And then we broke the passing lane and we were able to... Look, I wrote down a couple of things. We don't have yet. We think we do, we don't. A lot of people have been clamoring for, play Gift Monday, play Viviane Kechukwu. Saw them today. There's no chemistry. You can just tell, right? There's no transition from defense to attack. When we counter, it's almost a waste. So we don't have players that can cross the ball properly. I can make the passes are heavy. I'm not comparing them to men or anything, but the passes are heavy.
Definitely.
We don't play ball now. The passes are too heavy. What else? Creativity. And then for crying out loud, finishing. God, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but man, Gift Monday had the chance to literally make a name for ourselves today. Well, 2 chances to make a name for ourselves today.
So, okay, Sulaiman, let me ask you this question, or welcome Okat. Actually, Okat, let me ask you this question because you were on my live, after the game against Morocco, the defeat. You were one of the people that I had to tell that, hey, take it easy with Ifeoma Onumonu and your criticism of her. She is not a good striker. She cannot play in the World Cup, etc. Were things that were things that you said. And today, and again, that's why I always tell people that if you want to talk about the player and criticize, I don't like people compare. People are always like, but this other person will do that, this other person will do that. Now we saw another player get 2 chances and miss them. Like, I'm not trying to say, that makes Gift worse than Ifeoma or better. No. But I'm just asking to people that were saying she will surely have taken every chance. Like, what is the explanation now?
Can I just say that the first chance by Gift was not even on frame. It was not even on frame. Like, didn't even test the goalkeeper.
One thing you need to put into consideration today is these guys played their hearts out a couple of days ago. So you need to understand that their legs are tired, no matter how you want to say. They literally played 2 men and 2 ladies down in the last game. I was scared for this game because of what happened in the penultimate, the previous game they had. So I'm not going to be overly critical of the performance today because we're humans. Fine, they might be professionals, but it was too much work on them, on their legs, on their their form and everything in the previous game. So today's game, it was all about the coach's tactics and everything, which he literally messed up today. He showed that he's not quality enough to take the girls to the World Cup. And when I criticize Onumonu, I'm not against her person. I'm not against her personally. I just feel like as a striker, she should do more in terms of being available for the ball, being actually in the middle of the goal, and trying to make things happen right there. I'm not saying,
No, I was
I'm
going
not
to
saying
say
not quality on the ball, but then when you have a striker that is not up front, is literally nowhere in where she should be positioning, which is like the key thing for strikers. She doesn't have it.
no. I hear your point here, but
Sorry.
here's what I would do. I wouldn't even debate it with you right now. Yeah, give me 48 hours. I'm going to break down this game because it was something that I was watching this game, and the person I was watching it with someone, and I was telling the person as the game was going on, like, hey, keep saying this thing. We do not look into the middle. The reason why Onumonu, like you're saying, you're criticizing her positioning, like she's always drifting out wide. But I'm telling you, if you watch and you analyze carefully, she's forced to. The reason why she's drifting out wide is because we do not look to the middle. Every time anybody looks up in the middle, they are playing a long ball. If Ohale looks up in the middle, she's playing a long ball. If Uchebe looks up in the middle, she's playing a long ball. When they look wide, sometimes they pass it short. But when they look up in the middle, 80% of the time, they play a long ball. I'm going to break it down. Don't worry, I'll break it down on video, slow it down and show you people.
Do you not think that could be part of the strategy? She's got the height, obviously. She's taller than all the defense centre backs.
I agree.
That could be
and I agree with you. It could be part of strategy. In the games that the game against Morocco that people see, she had at least 6 balls in the middle that she brought down and held for Nigeria. When she does things like that, people don't look at it. They point to the times that, she was on the flank. Because, Okat, I've not even broken the video down yet. But I promise you that when I break it down, this same thing about she not being in the middle, the video will show you numerous times that she was actually in the middle. Because I remember there were 2 times.
I doubt that.
I remember there were, this game in particular, I remember twice in this game, I saw her making runs. And I told the person sitting beside me that this is the thing. Every time Ifeoma runs, these people don't look up and see her. And don't worry, I'll break it down on video and you guys will see her. Because when I debate things, and that's why I'm happy that I had the idea to do it for that last game. Because sometimes when I debate things like this, people will just say, it's because he doesn't like to talk bad about players. And it's as if I know what I'm talking about. But let's allow Coach Obi to jump in. And let me just say again at this point, if you want to come in, I'm also streaming.
Let Coach Obi break the game down for us. He's a coach. Because the 3 of us are not coaches.
Yeah.
Because, Baba, here's the sad part, Here's the sad part. It's one thing to have a bias against someone. It's another thing. You didn't even watch the game. Exactly. But then you are
that was what you said on the last live and sort of got some people upset. Don't go along the lines of, you didn't even watch the game. We did watch the game, and everyone has right to their opinion. Don't say that because you're sort of like picking some people.
Men are no fight for my life. Men are no fight.
And I'm analyzing and picking the players based on what I've seen. So don't say you didn't even watch the game.
It's okay. Guys, it's okay. Guys, it's okay.
Don't you said the other time that we dropping the game and we're critiquing the players.
I asked him a simple question.
2 of you can calm down. Coach Obi, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Coach, don't worry. Sulaiman and Okat, when you calm down, I'll bring you back on. Let me just say very quickly. I'm also streaming live because I wanted to say this before they shut me up. I'm also streaming live on YouTube. If you want to join the conversation, you can also go check out our YouTube. There's a link there. You can come, you can join, YouTube is I see. It's interesting. This is only my second ever time streaming on YouTube. I have 112 people on YouTube right now, and I have only 107 on Instagram. Wow. Shout out to YouTube, man. Like, see when I do on Instagram that YouTube is slowly winning my heart. People should step up your game on Instagram. The whole company, all of them. But yeah, Coach Obi, what did you think of the game today?
I'll try to make it very simple. Like I always say, I'm always trying to be ethical, not to start criticizing anyhow, as a coach. First of all, let's go back to the last match. You broke down after the match. You broke down. That's why I don't agree with Brother Okat saying, maybe that's the plan they are playing or no. Like last match, the match before that, the approach game. First of all, now a coach, you have your players. Onumon is a striker, he has a style of play. So you know how to play, whom to play the person with, how to put your game so that she'll be getting the passes when she's there in the middle. But that never happened. Our build-up was 0. Last match, 0. The same way Eagles IoT analyzed the match, broke it down. The same things happened today. From midfield, thank God. Then from midfield up to the attack. Once not passing the ball, 2-3 passes going to the middle to get your striker. You might see them throwing the long one there and simple interception, the ball is taken away from them. Or they go to the right, before you know it, 1-2 defender they've tackled, whether it's Odega or whoever is there, and they throw the person out from there. The same thing happened. It's not a question of how the coach asks them. That is what the coach understands. It happened the last time, it didn't work. Why continue that same way? I'm of the opinion that we've said this before. Coach just doesn't know how to use the players that he has. Can you tell me that player for player that Zambia is better than Nigeria, or that Morocco is better than Nigeria? Let's talk about that. We play with nine ladies. It's not that. We just an army general that doesn't know his soldier, how to use them, who is good at what or where. You know who you have there, your striker. You know who to play, how to pattern the game so that the person can get the balls. Who did a supporting striker, for example? How are they going to come in? How are they going to do the things? Odega was doing the same thing in the second half, for example, over and over again, and nothing worked. It shows you, and the coach was sitting there. I didn't see him intervening as he should have been intervening in the game as such. Again, let's just call it what it is. Nigeria is the 4th best team in the tournament. The way the ranking has gone now, Nigeria is 4th, Zambia is 3rd. Well, it's going to be South Africa, Morocco, then it's going to share 1st and 2nd position. That is actually how football has been developing in these countries in the past few years. There is no...
Yeah, so let me throw this question, because you've said some things here. A general that doesn't know his soldiers, etc., things like that. Let me throw this question to the 3 of you guys, that are with me now. And Sulaiman and Okad, I hope you guys have calmed down a little bit, But let me throw this question to you, and I'm going to be as blatant as possible. Should Coach Randy Wardrum keep his job?
No. Trust me, I think no, because the reason I said no is you can't see any tactical play. Like Coach rightly said, we had the quality in like 1-for-1. We're much better than the Zambian side and even the Moroccan side. But then there was no strategy. Like if there was any, I didn't see it. We're talking about, okay, how does he engage? Numono, how does he play to our strength? But we can't see any of that. Like we really cannot see a style of play on the pitch, and even him, making things, turning things around, making quality subs that will come in and impact the game. I didn't see that. So I don't think playing at the world stage, because I watch the Euros and I see the quality of play in terms of the coaching and even the way they pans out on the pitch. I don't see that with Coach Waldrum, and I don't see that on the pitch of play. So I'd say no. Otherwise, we're just looking World Cup to make up numbers.
All right. Thank you very much. I have to let you go now so I can bring other people. Over to you, Coach Sulaiman. I'll ask you, Sulaiman, should Coach Randy Wardrum keep his job? Yes or no, and why?
He will keep his job.
No. Sulaiman. No.
I don't have that power.
No. Honestly, that's why I didn't ask, is he going to be fired? I understand that we don't have the power, but I want to hear the opinion of the people. How are the people feeling?
He shouldn't. He hasn't improved this team in any shape or form. He's a long ball coach. Play the ball long, let your forwards run onto it, let them use their speed. For me, I think I wanted to ask the question, like, how do you properly use a player like Kunumonu? Like, how do you use that to her strength? She's physical, she's big. You don't have players that can properly cover the ball. Maybe one. Rashidat. The rest of them can't cross the ball properly to save their lives. Their passes are heavy. There's no cohesion between the midfield and the forwards. She's forced to drop back too many times. I don't know if you guys have seen the video that Ayo did. Like half the time she was in our half, not necessarily being, the threat that she could be in the opposition's half. And I get it. She's trying to have a drop, get the ball, and spray and be the one. Because she's a great passer. I've gone and watched a lot of her games. She's great as a passer. We saw the assist to Rashida for the goal against Cameroon, right? But she's your number 9. You have to be able to use her a lot better than you have used her. I don't know if you guys saw her reaction on the bench when she came up. Like when Gitmonde missed that first one, she was like, "Oh, really?" Like shout out her face like this, like she wears her expression on her face at times. It's ridiculous. The manager is clueless. We saw it in the game against South Africa. We saw it in the game against Morocco.
Yes.
I can't get over this man's the chest on this, the hair on his chest. It's catching me.
Sulaiman, why are you looking at the hair on the man's chest?
I'm looking at my phone. I can't look away at the time. But yeah, like he's been tested in 2 big matches that matter, and he failed. The Zambian game, we didn't have Rashida, we didn't have Aide. So you could say, it's a third place game. You think, which is why I said we don't really have depth, right? But the 2 games that matter, he got tested and he failed. Yes, he had 2 red cards. But after the first red card, for a game that we were dominant in midfield, what do? You have to sacrifice a forward. Coaches do it all. I'll be alive. Coaches do it all the time. You want to be able to continue to dominate where you are dominating, right?
See, Sulaiman.
Hold on. I don't coach this game. Right? I only played. I didn't play professionally, but I know what my eyes tells me.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Where is the game won? Isn't it in the midfield?
More or less, yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Yes. The game is won in midfield because that's how you dictate the pace of the game, right? You had the midfield against Morocco. After we were able to initially subdue their initial gra-gra, we had the midfield. The Rashida just joined us.
Oh yeah, Rashida just joined. Shout out to Rash.
Raj. We need you today, but trust me, we're all behind you. Player of the tournament, in my opinion. All the other stuff is big.
See, it all depends on what I've been praying, but it all depends on what Chebak does. If Chebak should mistakenly score, it's Morocco. If Chebak should mistakenly score tomorrow, they'll give back.
I don't give you the Chebak that we pocketed. We were dominant in the midfield, right? It was obvious, especially that Cameroon game. You saw the way all their Gbasgbos, Uchepe, Maindea, and Nkobi was like, I better go sit down one corner. We got this, right? Same thing in the game where Morocco was trying to be all. We were able to subdue the initial gra-gra. We were able to stock up the initial gra-gra. You kept on dominating the game, right? You lost a player. What you should have done.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm not a coach. I am just a football fan that knows the game, that has talked about the game and calls the game.
See,
I would have done this, right? I was saying to myself, do I give up Uche Nakanu or do I give up Onumonu? Because I'm not giving up Rash, right? At that point in time, you can't give that up, right? That's your best player at that moment. The coach didn't need that. Didn't sub any, didn't do anything. So we're now soaking up pressure and we now lost the midfield. And after we got the second red card, he now decided to make a sub in the midfield. The guy gotta go, man.
See, I wanted to say something very quickly.
He shouldn't leave Morocco and come to Nigeria. Just go from Morocco to Pittsburgh. One way ticket. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200.
Sulaiman, I'll say something. It's interesting because I'm looking at most of the comments here. Most people are saying he has to go. And I just think, Nigeria, I love how Nigeria has a lot of diverse perspective. When it comes to everything. And sometimes they say social media is not real life. On Instagram, I'm looking at it overwhelmingly. People on the comments are saying he should go. But on YouTube has a poll where you can actually just put the poll up and allow people to. And I'm looking here at the moment, we have over, I think, about 80-something votes, and it's 54% saying yes, that he should stay, that he can improve. So,
but right? You are getting 2 conflicting opinions. Instagram is saying one thing, You should be saying another thing.
Yeah.
Two conflicting opinions.
So that's what, like, it's like, so really, I mean, at the end of the day, it shows that like there's no right or wrong answer in this debate or in this conversation, because the same way some people are strong about, hey, he needs to get out of here right now, the same way some people are strong that, hey, I've seen some positive signs that make me believe that if he can tweak one or two things, he can improve.
Ayoti, no better. We are supposed to beat Botswana and Burundi. So that one is not. Yes. That one is my. When I said that, I thought we were to South Africa. That we're going to beat those two teams, and people think everything is fine. You're supposed to beat Botswana and Burundi. That one is a no-go area. The two matches that mattered the most against South Africa and against Morocco. Yeah. Those are the matches. Yes, we got red cards. It happens. But when we got the first one, you decided to concede your midfield, to stick with some plan that had no head or tail. The long ballism that did nothing.
I'm telling you.
Let me just say before I leave. First of all, shout out to Rashida if she's still here. One thing is that we respect all the girls. We love them. What we saw in this tournament, that we saw warriors, we saw Amazons. We have shown you that woman for woman, they are the best on the continent, no doubt. But unfortunately, they've been set up both ways from the administration, talking about bonuses and here and there, and they get the coach not really using them properly. This is just the way I see it. And he did not show up when it mattered much. Against South Africa, we saw it. Now, Botswana and Burundi, well, for me, those were like recovery matches after the South Africa loss. I would not use that to rate anything. But the girls showed that they can be good enough, they can pass the ball around, and they can move forward, and they can score goals. Now, against Cameroon, that was the best match. Again, telling you that the girls are good. They are the best on the continent. Now, against Morocco, again, a match that matters so much, the coach did not show up, as far as I'm concerned. Today, this happened, unfortunately. So, should he stay or should he go? Well, I would say, if he leaves, okay, what option are we going to have? Let's not go back to the AFCON, the men, what happened last year and things like that, or this year. And we should be very careful when we say that. Do we have any capable hand there who can take the girls further? Probably. Can Randy improve? Maybe. We saw the matches they played against the USA, Jamaica, Portugal, and
Canada. Yeah.
Well, even in defeat, we were rejoicing because we saw.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on in there. Is it because of his own, inefficiency from his own side, or there's something going on in the team? People over there should really sort it out. We have time. I will still say in quotes between now and the World Cup, we need to improve. They're bringing in a new person. Let it be just a good new person, not just another, traveler or another unqualified coach. So for me, that answer is like whatever. Let it just be anybody that will improve the girls. Woman for woman, girls. Love, come back. Let's go back to the drawing board if the drawing board is still there.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Coach Obi,
the coaching union.
Coach Obi, I'll let you go now, but thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, over to you, Daffy Tuga.
Hey, brother. Hey, IoT. Thank you, and Sulaiman. I don't really have much to say again. Coach has said a lot, and Sulaiman has said a lot. Like, going on again. I saw everything from the first match. This wasn't the Super Falcons I always know. The Falcons we knew are Falcons who are flair, lovely game when they play. You see them taking a lot of shots. There wasn't no shots from maybe outside the 18 from this team. Fine, I watched those friendlies. They played very well, but I didn't know what came over the coach. This tournament, there wasn't no flair at all in the team. Even during those years when we were dominant, like when we were using indigenous coaches, This team were playing well, and we still have a lot of players in this team who have been playing for the past 6, 7, 8 years, and they are the ones that have been, giving us these silverwares and everything. And this guy, I'm telling you, it's not every coach because he comes from the US that probably they are good. We should forget that. I think for me, we should go back to those indigenous coaches that we've used, and they've been delivering the cups and everything, playing good games. It's not just, I don't think it's cut out for him. Even in friendly, maybe probably because it's a friendly match, that's why they're playing like that. But tactically, even I'm telling you, that match against Morocco, we will have won that game if he knows what he's doing. Because definitely the Moroccans were pressing forward. They were virtually, it's only 1 or 2 defenders left at the back. I think he knows what he's doing. We will have defeated Morocco that day. But I'm telling you, the guy, I think for me, he should go. I think we should just go back to the drawing board. Let's get an indigenous coaches who have trained this, who are with ladies team. And I think we're going to do better. I think so. But for this guy, I don't think he can do anything. We saw everything from the first match. And it wasn't, man. Though I didn't watch today's match, but at the same time, I knew this is what is going to happen. And the same thing repeated itself. Thank you, Ayo.
All right, thank you very much for joining and sharing your thoughts. I'll let you go now. Over to you, Babs Bami. Welcome.
Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Sorry, Babs Bami, before you go, YouTube people don't want to talk. Nobody has sent a request to join on YouTube. But a lot of people are here watching, far more than they are on Instagram, but they're not joining the live. I want to talk to some of you. But go on, Babs Bami.
Okay, thank you for bringing me on. Thank you so much, Iwan. This match today, I watched it. I watched the match today very well, but not with that passion which I normally have for them anymore. Mr. Sulaiman said something. I was thinking I was the only one that felt it. Assistant to Shola, she's a good player. I love her so much. I cherish her as a player. She's a good player, a legend who has been playing so long. But sometimes you have to carry everybody as a team, not as individual, or taking things as individual. What she said yesterday, I think even on the team today played, they were unlucky. It affected them in everything they have done. Monday Gift can score goals, but not as his fault. Monday Gift had a chance, but she missed it. Okay. And I won't blame her. Every player you can be on the field at a particular time. I won't blame the player at the spot saying you lose a goal. When you are there and you do it and you score, good for you. And you lose, okay. But the team today, Rita came in the midfield. She was working as if we are not looking for goals. But I know you will still do the analysis. After everything, you will still watch the match. She was working on the midfield where she's supposed to run for pass. Then the girl on Team's hair, I've forgotten her name. The girl, yeah. She brings the ball as a midfielder. Sometimes she goes with the ball, fine. But she's playing football. Today, Rita came in and I was surprised as an experienced player what she was doing on the field. Ortega was forcing our ball. Play the ball, she was forcing it. She was trying to use her power. But that is key for them. The administration have seen themselves right now that the other team in Africa are coming up. They are not saying they are the biggest.
Sorry to cut you off. Somebody is asking if Super Falcons are going to the World Cup. Yes, they are going to the World Cup. Even though they finished fourth, the prerequisite for qualifying automatically was to get to the semi-finals. So yes, they are. Yeah, go on that one.
For our World Cup, I don't want the Europeans again. From what they have seen from the Europeans today, I won't be surprised if we get 4 like the way we have been getting it 1998 because of this thing. And lastly, our coach, technically, like 35%. If he continues this way, I don't think our World Cup will just go there as the way we have been going, play first round, and come out. Because we may not score goals.
So let me ask this question. Yeah. You said the way it is, if we go there, you think it's just going to be the same way we've been going in the past. So in your mind now, what does the NFF or what does the team or what like? And I don't want to hear, oh, we need to improve. You know, that's a very vague general answer. What exactly can you point to and say, hey, if we do this, if we do that, I think we have a very good chance of, you know, doing better than we usually do at the World Cup. That is to say, like, I think if we do this, if we do that, we can reach the quarterfinal. We got to the round of 16 in the last World Cup. So better than that would be the quarterfinal. So what do you think we can do to get to the quarterfinal of the World Cup?
With this team right now?
I mean, the players are going to be the same players regardless of who the coach is.
We have players, those players individually good. We don't have it. We don't have the team. So there is nothing surprising there. We are going there the way we have been going years before the last war.
So somebody here on YouTube says, Emeka Okunbo says, get some more younger players. And you know, here's the thing I always challenge people. If you run through the ages of all the players on the squad, we have young players, Yakpa, Rashidat, Gift Monday, you know, Vivian, Regina, Christine Chebe, even Chiamaka is young. You know, so we have young players.
Technically, our coach, if they have that right coach, why not? Those players are.
And actually, you know the funniest part. In 2014, we beat Zambia 6-0.
Yes.
In 2018, we beat Zambia 4-0. Yes. In 2022, we lost to Zambia. In 4 years. No comments.
But I just the leaders in the team, even their leaders, we assist that. Those guys were not paid, and you came out talking that kind of word.
I don't want to even I've been trying not to even get into that.
Because we are not doing the right thing. We are not doing the right thing.
But okay, let's allow Wadorek. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I've been following the Nigerian female football for a while now. I remember the first was in 98 or so, the first AFCON they did in Warri, because I'm from Warri. I attended the game at Ogara, and the one they played at Warri City Stadium. I think that was the first time I went there live to watch them. And, you know, I saw Omagbemi, someone who grew from Warri when I was in primary school. Omagbemi was playing it at, we played together in Warri, what do you call it, at Marine Quarters, because that's where she used to live. So I kind of, you know, followed the women way back until, you know, they went to the US, went to China and stuff like that. So, but, you know, we've been dominating the African scene for decades now. So, you know, I still believe that, oh yeah, everything is going on well. But when I follow up with this tournament, this one now in Morocco, I was, you know, it was a shock to me because right from the first game, when I saw the first game against South Africa, I managed to watch that. I was so disappointed in that game, you know, and I saw the deficiencies. Mainly it comes from our coach. You know, the coach was inept in terms of how he used the players. Changes were not done at the right time, and at the end of the day, that's what you get. Come to this last one. This one they played today against Zambia. I wasn't impressed at all. I wasn't impressed. The coach, he just shows that he doesn't really know the players. You understand? He doesn't really know. He doesn't know when they're giving our players red cards. You know, you don't have them in the next match. You know, you have to improvise. You have to think of, you know, who you're going to use in order to make sure you're covering for those players.
Rashida wasn't playing today, and it's just that we cannot. Even Odega that was there on the right wing, she was doing the same thing. She would take the ball, and the next thing is going across the goal line for a goal kick. She did it not one, not twice, multiple times. I was like, come on, can't you tell this, to do something different,
Sorry to cut you off, but I want to draw attention to this question because this question is on the screen right now. Somebody on YouTube is pretty much saying the same thing. When I asked what do we need to do exactly, somebody said the players must be taught how to shoot on target, and we're missing chances. But at the same time, it's like these are professional players that play in. It's like I pinned it because I think it's an interesting point. But at the same time, it's a bit laughable. Like, are we really supposed to start teaching professional players how to shoot ball on target? It's like
it's just like you are telling a little boy who wants to eat. You are telling him where to put it. As a baller, you know how to place your leg and how to put it. The only thing we are lacking at editor, we take it to our coach.
Another.
Our crew, our technical crew, placing players on the field matters. Where you place your players on the field matters.
So, see, good, Babs, Bami, that point I just made, where you place your players on the field, I was going to go to the next point that somebody here has made. Ebenezer Afolabi says, we need a natural left back and a natural right back. Alozie and Tony Payne have been playing out of position. He says, where is Okeke in this team? Okeke was injured. He says she's a girl with World Cup experience. So, moving forward, let me throw it to you guys as well. Do you think, Coach Randy needs to dump this Tony Payne, Alozie fullback experiment? And actually, even if they might not be as good in general, should he just play natural fullbacks?
Yes, because in fairness to Payne and Alozie, they are forward-thinking players more than their defenders. So their strength is actually wasted. They are only playing as defenders because the coach doesn't trust players who should be playing in that natural position. So their strength, which is going forward, which we've seen it on both of them a couple of times, is actually wasted. What happened to Christy Uchebe that she had to come back?
I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I'll talk to her after, but honestly, I'm not sure exactly what happened to her.
Like, after she came off, I was like, I guess this coach doesn't really want to win the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look at the corner kick that Gloria Noze was taking. She almost scored with I think two of them on several occasions.
Let me ask you guys another question, and I'm happy now. It seems like my audience you know what, guys, at the moment, this is the first time I'm ever doing this. I'm currently streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the same time. So trying to maximize the reach, because I just saw that the comments have been increasing, but now everybody from everywhere is saying a lot. So I'm trying to keep up with everybody. But somebody here says, and that means that you guys on Instagram, you guys are the lucky ones. So I think I'm going to keep you guys on longer than normal before I start bringing more people, because I can't rotate too much. But there's also somebody on YouTube that I'm going to bring on in a sec. Prof Data, I see you. But let me ask this question. Francisca Odega. Emmanuel Etuk says, I think Odega should retire from the national team. She's not been helpful in this tournament despite her experience. What do you guys say to that?
I think she comes off the bench. She's a great asset coming off the bench, because it's funny. The gentleman below me, I don't know his name. Walter, I got to play the director. Omagbebi. He's a senior man. He played with Omagbebi, so it's no joke. He said something earlier about, like Odega, a lot of things she was doing was going to waste. That's because they're playing against more players that are just as physical as them. When they play against the Europeans or the foreigners, they're going to be able to blow past them because they're faster. So that's how they think, right? And you can't blame them, because that's the one thing that they have to their advantage, their speed. I'm of the opinion that don't fire Randy, because you're going to see something strange in the World Cup, right? The teams are not going to sit back the way our opposition are sitting back in Africa. The opposition are going to come at us. Randy is banking that the Odegas, the Ajibades, the Oshualas will be able to use their speed and their physicality against those Europeans, against those foreigners who will play them in the World Cup. That's why he's also playing Payne and Alozie as fullback because you trust them more to be tactically disciplined and defensively disciplined than the Nigerian players, right? Because let's be fair, if Randy could play those Americans in centre back, he will play them over Ali and Onome. Am I lying, Ayo?
I mean, he will, yeah.
Because it's a lack of trust. He doesn't trust. Yeah. He doesn't trust the Nigerian ball players in the back. He doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of things. And that's why he sticks his best centre back and left back because the whole politics is going on and he's forced to play on a man as centre back.
All right, Suleiman, I'll come back to you in a second. I have my first guest from YouTube, Prof. Data. Thank you for joining us. Guest from YouTube, Prof. Data. Hello, can you hear me?
It's just a pity that connecting you, just once I connected you, my volume fell. I don't know if it's from your side, but the truth of the matter is my volume is at the highest. And
you can't hear me clearly?
I'm not hearing you clear. Like now I'm away from my phone. I'm not hearing you clear. Hello?
Can you hear? Maybe, can you try maybe leaving and reconnecting? Maybe.
Okay, let me do that again.
All right, I'll try to bring
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Prof. Data. So our first YouTube guest did not quite work out. So let's go back to Instagram very quickly. Let me just see what people in the comments are saying.
Come back to your first love. So
Is
that
it-
you are going to go and chase.
No.
What
are you saying? We have people. We have 13 people streaming on Facebook right now. 94 people streaming on YouTube. You know, there's people on Twitter as well. I appreciate all of you guys. You know, we're trying to spread love and see. You know, it's one platform that I'm using to stream to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. But for whatever reason, I can't. If I could connect to Instagram as well at the same time, it would have been perfect because the 4 streams would be getting the same feed. But now the 3 platforms are seeing one thing, and then you guys on Instagram are seeing a different thing. So that's the only part that is a bit disjointed. But let's keep the conversation going. Somebody here says, Ayokule Adebisi says, you can actually teach those girls how to shoot. He says, even me, I'm in German amateur league and we still practice shooting. So,
no, but it's true though. The today's game, I don't think we have chances. We have chances to score. But they weren't shooting. They weren't shooting at all. They were trying to work the game. They were trying to work the ball in the net.
They were shooting. Vivian Ikechuku step one. Vivian Ikechuku killed a bird. One time. Just as it going. I
want to add something. Do you know that our coach, I don't think he has, after his first 11, those first 11 he has used from our first match, second match, and I don't think he has substitute that he is good enough that this are my look that I'm putting in, and he's going to do something for me on the field. Exactly. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know. He doesn't. Watch Moroccans. Go and watch Moroccans. The first quarter final against us. Those 5 girls that played the same penalty in quarter final played against us. Go and watch them again.
all right, Bami, let me come back to you. I want to try to get. I have another person here. David, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. So, my first caller. Where are you on YouTube? Where are you joining from? YouTube or Facebook? I'm not sure.
YouTube.
Thank you for joining. So yes, we're discussing the game today. Nigeria were out of the WAFCON. I mean, 4th place. What can we say? How did you feel about the game, and what do you think we need to do? Moving forward.
Well, I think we need to do a lot. We need someone as a cover for Ayinde, so that in the event we have a problem with the midfield, I think every team requires a DM, to make you thick in the midfield, and then you have people who can actually control the ball, move the ball. Kobe is actually good with respect to holding the ball and passing the ball. But I commented on YouTube and I said, Tony Payne reminds me of Gavi of Barcelona. She has that ability to actually turn.
David, Tony Payne is reminding you of player that is just coming up.
Yes. The truth be told, that she has that ability, or maybe a Xavi. maybe a Javi. You know, she has that ability. So if you play her up front, she has that ability to see players run into the 18-yard box. She can just put a true ball there. I don't know if for me, if NFF wants to keep Randy, that's up to them, because some of the international friendlies we've played, he has actually done quite a lot, something remarkable, I guess. But this is African football. It's completely different from what you have playing the likes of Portugal and Canada. So they might want to retain the services of Randy based on the outcome of those friendlies that they had, you know. But I think right now we need a cover. Rita Chipelu has to retire. Personally, she has to retire. She's tried. I think I followed her since the early 2000, and her legs are beginning to get really weak. So we need a cover for Ayinde. We need fullbacks, left-footed defenders, not right-footed defenders playing as a left fullback, and then you have, you know, midfielders, attacking midfielders playing as your fullback. It's a different thing if you want to convert someone to play as a right fullback who is probably an attacking player. But if you don't have the ability to actually play as a defender, you're going to become a liability to the team. So instead of doing the job, those balls will be coming through you. Every attacking balls will be coming through you, and there's a likelihood that you'll get beaten because you lack the experience to actually defend the ball properly. So maybe we need to go out. We have scouts. If Randy wants to do that, maybe he wants to bring in some girls playing abroad, wherever they are. That's fine with me. But we need people who can actually hold on to the ball. Because I watched Morocco play, and they've impressed me a lot. When you see players pass the ball and trap the ball, when you trap the ball one time, it gives you an edge over your opponent. Barcelona did it over time. Guardiola did it with Man City, and a lot of teams are beginning to copy it.
All right, David, sorry, just hold on for a second. You know, you said something while you were speaking, and I saw Babs Bami's face over here on Instagram, even though you can't see him. When you said that Chikwelu needs to retire, you know, he had this face that he did, like you know, that statement did not sit well with him. So I want to hear from Babs Bami very quickly. Let's try to cross platform and make this fun. So Babs Bami, yes. So why do you disagree with his take on Rita?
I agree with him.
Oh, you agree with him that Rita should retire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you then. Let me ask you, why should Rita retire?
See, Rita, I today, this year or last year or this tournament was not the first match I've been watching her. I've watched her right from a young age up to this length. I've watched her in different competitions for the
from under 20.
Oh, I've seen her when she was playing. Now, I've watched her in this tournament against South Africa. That match against South Africa, she was not in the midfield. She was just there playing sluggishly. Today, they brought her in today. I watched her today. I watched her no more than 2 times, no more than 3 times. The girl on white hair collected the pass. I expected her as a midfielder. She was just closing to her. Move. And not just because she doesn't have the experience anymore. The power is not there anymore. The power is not there anymore. She has made the money already.
You know what you're reminding me of? You know that song I say, when your legs don't work like they used to before. So basically, you're saying that, you know, even though she might want to do it, that
taking tables. You have come here to be taking tables. So here's the thing, right? I think when he took her to Chibi, he brought Rita in as more like in a holding role, right? To see if she could spray the passes. But she definitely wasn't sitting in front of the 2 center backs. She was trying to be a little bit more advanced. But her legs could only carry her so far. Look, father time is undeniable when it comes to sports. It is undefeated.
Father will catch up with everybody. Mother time will catch up with everybody. We also had one of the left back for like 30 seconds. She picked up a yellow card.
Yeah.
Sharp, sharp.
Okay, see,
She picked up a yellow card. Sharp, sharp.
Sulaiman,
You know,
I want
the reality now is who's going to replace her.
And Sulaiman, I want to ask this question about our midfield, and I'm throwing this question to you, Prof. Data. I see your back. I hope you can hear me better now. And to David, this question is to everybody that is on live with me on all platforms right now. You know, looking at our midfield, because I don't understand why we keep on playing like this. And I have to fault our midfielders a little bit, because whenever our defenders have the ball, Tony Payne, Ashley Plumter, Ohali, Onome, it doesn't matter which one. Our midfielders just stand on the line.
Nobody's coming to get the ball.
Halfway line, they're just standing there and they're just waiting, hoping that somebody can somehow do some kind of magic and get the ball to them. And if you watch that game, I broke down the Morocco game. The Morocco, they were very clever and it was just obviously good coaching. Every time Ashley or Tony Payne touched the ball against Morocco, pressure. Immediately the ball is going to Tony Payne. Two Moroccan players are going. Immediately the ball is going to Ashley. Two Moroccan players are going. And then our midfield is not.
You know what they're doing? You know what they're doing?
They are trapping you in that corner.
Not only that, they are cutting out the possibility of passing the ball to the midfield.
Yep.
So you have two options. You're either passing to the center back or you are passing back to the goalkeeper.
And then we have our midfielders, and then unfortunately they are not rotating, they are not moving. And then whenever they do a little bit of movement, here's the thing. See, I love Christine Chebe. Fantastic ball winner. We saw her again today, winning tackle after tackle, interception after interception. But if you watch, a lot of the time when Super Falcons are trying to build up play, if you pause the game, I know we don't pause when I'm watching live, but if you watch after and you pause the game, you will see that Ainde, Okobi are deep, and then Christy is at the top of the triangle. When I'm talking about the midfield three, the midfield triangle. And then I don't understand, like I honestly do not understand why. Because whenever Christy gets the ball, she tries her best, but we see it that she's clearly not a very, very skilled attacking player. If you've been watching Okobi, Ngozi Okobi, we know Okobi as Samba. We know this normal that he did body. We know say he did body. So why isn't Ngozi Okobi the one that is going further ahead? And if she can receive the ball, she can play that incisive final pass. She has more technical ability on the ball. And another thing is that, like, it's crazy to me. I broke down. I didn't post the video, but I went and watched Uchebe's performance against Morocco. When she was in the opponent's half, very honestly, largely ineffective. When she was in her half, fantastic player. So I'm now throwing the question to all of you guys. Is it that the coach just sees something different in like the way Mauricio Sarri said, I don't care what all of you are saying, Kante is going to play that position. Is it the same thing that is happening with? Because why is our best tackler playing attacking midfield? Like, I'm asking everybody. So Sulaiman, before I come to you, let me allow Prof Data, because he's the only one here that hasn't got a word in on YouTube. So Prof Data, I'll start with you. Why do you think?
Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can. Yeah. I'm shouting. Okay. We can hear you.
Okay.
but yes, why do you think you said I should bring somebody on? Okay, thank you very much, Bob. So, Prof Data, why do you think our best tackler, our best defensive midfielder is our most advanced midfielder? Why do you think that?
The thing there is that this coach, I began to fault him, because what you said about Okobi is true. She's much more like better within our own pack of space, but when it comes in front of that, approaching, playing that offensive role, she's not that impressive. Then again, for Okobi, sometimes I see her not being used very well. They should try to make her more offensive. But right from time I've known Okobi, from Trinidad and Tobago 2010. I'm somebody, I watch Nigerian matches anytime I have a chance. Female, male, I watch it. So I think they haven't been able to make her play, put that input very well. And there's something you said, which I wish our coaches will learn. That team has failed to progress from defense very well to midfield to attack. That is one problem. That's one problem I found out that team has is lacking. It's a very, very big problem. And, it pains me. The Moroccans really dealt with them because he really said it. I watched an analysis of the game of Morocco. Once Morocco gets the ball, once we get the ball from defense, two attackers are already in front of them, and that really frustrated our game against Morocco.
All right, I'll come back to you, Prof. Data.
Yeah, no problem.
So, Sulaiman, before I come to you, Sulaiman, Wadurek, I'll ask you first. So, why, honestly, because I personally, and I'm asking the question, I don't get it. And, but I'm not the coach. I don't have an influence on the team. So, I'm asking this. Somebody should explain to me, why do you have a reason in your head that you think Christie, who I think is our best ball winner, is playing? And somebody here said Okobi is more advanced. I'm telling you, I watch the breakdown. I break everything down after the matches. Trust me, like whenever I stop this thing, most of the time is Okobi. Is Uchebe. When Okobi drives with the ball, it might go beyond Uchebe because he's driving with the ball and things like that. But you watch, even when we have to move the ball from defense to attack, and I have to give Okobi some credit here. I talk about there's no movement in midfield. Whenever there is movement, it's Okobi that's actually making that movement. You see her dropping sometimes to come and try to offer an option.
Even today, yes. Yeah. Even today, you could see,
Muyikin, I wouldn't argue with you. See, like I said, after this, give me 48 hours. The video will be on our YouTube. I will break down the game today. I will pause the game in certain moments, and you will see it. And if you don't agree, you don't agree. But yeah, Wadurek, go ahead.
Yeah. So, like you said, Okobi has been the one who is actually, supposed to be more forward. But with like today's game, we didn't have idea. Okobi was out. She was even, coming back to help with the defense. You understand? So I think it has to do with the coaching. Like I said initially, the coach is supposed to be the one who's instructing these ladies. Telling them exactly, who and who to, take responsibility for certain aspect of the game. But if we find our best defensive player being in the attack, that's it's like the other way around, which is not supposed to be. So it's the coach. The coach, to me, I think, he's the one who is actually supposed to pass out the instruction himself and his crew and whoever that's in charge with actually dishing it. If you really want, like today's game, I didn't really see him giving instructions. I was the time I saw him and his assistant.
They were crouching. He's like Mourinho. You know when Mourinho crouches.
So I was like, what's this man doing? But I don't want to be too hard on him. Somebody who's coming from America, don't really know African, African soccer. How things are really done in Africa. It's going to take a while for him to actually, know exactly, especially when it comes to African Nations Cup. These people, when they hear Nigeria, everybody wants to come with the kitchen. They'll throw the kitchen sink on us. So they don't want to make sure anything that would happen, they will want to, just make sure that Nigeria doesn't do anything. So it's like 110 or 120% when it comes to Nigeria. But for someone who this is the first time, I think it's the first time he's coming to Africa. This is the first time. So he lacks that experience. He lacks that exposure to African football.
So let me ask this question, because I hear this thing and African football, and I hear it a lot. But I ask this question, because when we say a coach doesn't know African football, let's think of some of the top coaches in world football that we know of. I don't think Pep Guardiola has ever coached African football. I don't know if he has ever been to Africa in his life. Do you think that if Pep Guardiola takes over this team now, we can say, why are we bringing a coach that doesn't know African football? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, isn't it? Because I always like to say, forget African football. I don't think African, yes, climate, field, things like that, the aggressiveness, they exist, and I'm not denying that, But what I'm just saying is that if you go out there and you play a dominating style of football, it's like, it does not matter whether you're from Africa, whether you're from Oceania, whether you're from New Zealand. If you go out there and you play a dominating style of football, you will go out there and win. Like, see, it's today's game. You know, this is, you know, post-match live immediately after we're reacting. But I was watching this game and I'm thinking, why are we just giving the ball to Zambia to come at us and come at us and come at us? If you see the Zambian goal that they scored, I'm not sure, but go back and watch maybe 5 minutes before the Zambian goal, and you will see they had one opportunity that they ran with the ball. We cleared it to them. Boom. They come back again with the ball. We gave it to them. Boom. The third time they came with the ball, they take that shot and then scrappily hits Chiamaka. It goes in. We concede. And it's like, why aren't we? Because we have technically gifted players. And see, I was saying this on the other live. And again, I don't have the solutions. I'm just speaking. But again, I'll say it. I can see she's on this live. Shout out to her because I enjoyed her in this tournament. But I said that if I were her, I'll tell coach that, see, coach, as we go this World Cup, figure your thing out because I'm not playing defense. And that's Tony Payne. See, because her ability, see, like, people don't know how good she is. That's the truth. People that watch this WAFCON don't know how good she is because they've seen her do well as a defender and they're thinking, she's a good defender, she's giving everything. But let her play left wing and see what she can do when she's actually attacking. And that's the thing for me, is like, coach just needs to.
She's a better crosser, to be fair. Nothing against Ichenakanu. She's a better crosser than Ichenakanu.
See,
she has better vision than she does. But once again, it goes back to the lack of trust in who the fullbacks are from the coach. Somebody just sent something to me. He's the father of Tesha Akindele, who plays for Canada and plays in Orlando City right now. He said Nigeria is going to, let me read this verbatim. He said the fact that Nigeria will be going to the Women's World Cup as the 4th-rated team from Africa means we will get a tougher draw at the World Cup.
No, but Sulaiman, somebody correct me. Is it
not true? It's not true. It's not true. It's not
I
true.
think it's the
It's not true.
You already have
It's
a
not
seeding.
true. It's not. They have a seed in which Nigeria always falls like in the bottom seed, both in men's category and female category.
Because I think it's based on world ranking overall. How
Yes.
they draw the ball.
African teams in general normally fall in the last seed.
That aside, we need to stop putting square pegs in round holes. We need to stop playing Onumunu out wide with number 9. Get her the players that can actually make her look good, that can properly cross her the ball.
Exactly.
On one side, Payne on the other side, bring Alozie off the bench, go and figure out the fullback situation. Stop wasting these young ladies on a position where they don't perform well. Stop playing with Chebe forward, play her more in a cutting out passing lanes position. If Ainde is not playing, slot her in there. Look, if they're playing a 4-3-3, figure it out. If they're playing a 4-1-4-1, figure it out as well. You know, this coach has had a year and change to figure this team out. 3 weeks before the AFCON, and now the AFCON to figure this team out. We can't figure it out by now. Golly. We have game coming up in September. We were playing America and Japan.
Yeah, America, 2 games against America in September. I'm hoping to be there.
Where is it, here in the US or in Canada?
In the US.
I don't even know.
One game is in Kansas, and I forget where that game is. But I'm hoping to be in the US for those games, or at least one of the games.
I'll watch on TV.
You that you live in the US, you say you watch on TV. Me, I want to fly from another country. So like, man.
That's your choice. That's your choice. I'll watch on TV. Because look, the reality is we're going to get the same thing over and over again. So why would I now suddenly change? Yes. My expectation is going to be the same with this team.
No, but I mean, so this is what I will say. You know, let's. Sorry, I'll come to you in. I'll come to you in a second. Oluwa Tosin. Sorry, just give me. I want to take this other thing. I want to just implore people. You know, we're all disappointed. We're all, we're going off. We're making our feelings heard. But please, at the same time, let's not lose faith in these players. You know, like, whilst yes, this is a big disappointment to us. But you know, again, I always challenge people. You know, the definition of true support. You know, if you fail a test tomorrow, your mother is not going to disown you because you failed the test. She's still going to say, okay, my son, you have to do better. You have to step up. And she will teach you and help you get better in that next test. So let's not now just lambast them and stop supporting because they've disappointed us.
That is true now. Like me, I'm not disregarding the team at all. I'm not that type of person because these are the players we have. These are the players we have. I still see them doing better. What all this team needs to do is put the right players in the right position, improve. We need with the team lack technical depth. That team lack technical depth. Honestly, all the matches we won, I saw it. We lack technical depth. So we need a coach that can see. This coach, I still feel he can do it, but I think he lacks strong. This match we lost today, to me, we lost it mainly because to me, I still believe the influence and what happened about them not training affected them. 2, there was some kind of bad luck. See the type of goals Monday Gift missed. These are chances that especially that second one.
So from data and the rest of you guys, let me ask you this question. Because sometimes when we criticize coach, I always wonder how the coach is thinking and how the coach is feeling. Because in the same breath, you spoke about we don't have that technical depth and the coach is not doing that job properly. And then in another breath, you said, look at the chances Gift Monday misses. Now, if the coach can now tell you that, am I going to go and kick ball inside the net for Gift? The coach can tell you.
It's true. My brother.
Hold on. The coach can tell you that my influence has created the chance for us. Now it's up to the player to bury that chance. If the coach tells you that, do you think he has a point? If he says that, look, we created enough chances to win, so I don't get why you're complaining.
Okay.
The players,
that is very good. You see, what you said is true. All I need this coach to do is one thing. Let him do that. He has a long space of time. What I want him to do is similar to what Bonfrey Joe did when he drew Congo in the 2000 Nation Cup. I happened to be in Lagos. That man sat down. I remember when Morocco played Tunisia after we drew Congo. That man sat down and analyzed the game very well. I'm sure his analysis paid off when we beat Morocco. If you watch that Morocco game, that last group match, if you watch that match very well, you see that Morocco didn't allow us score. The 2 goals we scored, Finidi George outside shot from 18 with his left foot. The second goal, Ayawa. Then in the quarterfinals, we all know what Senegal did. Bofijo did his homework. This is all I need this coach to do. I'm not overpraised. Then there's some players in need. You see Opara Nozie, nobody will tell me that lady is not needed in that team.
But he called her up, it was for a different reason.
I know. I think she had either visa
issues in China. Okay, yeah. But thank you. I'll come back to you. Let me just.
Okay, no problem.
Oluwatosin has been waiting and he hasn't said anything.
No problem.
Tosin, thanks for joining us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so grateful for having me on this platform. About today's match, I'm not really happy because I will not blame anybody, especially the players. I'm not going to blame them, but I think everything started from the time they protested about their bonuses, and you can see the way they played today. They were not really giving it everything they got because they didn't train, they were not motivated, and again the coach. I will have to if I have my way, I think we need a new coach. The reason being that this coach has been with the national team for almost 2 years. And the NFF gave this coach everything he needed with the training camp in Austria, friendly matches, and so on and so forth. But during this tournament, playing players out of position is nothing to write home about. I was watching Tony Payne's game, some of our goals, likewise that of Alose. These players are very, very good players. Why do we have to play them at the fullback? We wasted the opportunity whereby we could have deployed them to maybe for them to play 8 or play from the flanks and so on and so forth. But I think if the coach can correct some of these mistakes, then I think we should be able to at least perform in the World Cup proper. So that's for me, though.
Sulaiman, I'll bring you back. Don't worry. Okay, Tosin. Let me ask you this question. Just looking at the entire WAFCON, what is the one positive that if you had to pick something and say, hey, despite what I don't like about the coach, despite finishing fourth, nobody's happy to finish fourth, all that, this one thing makes me smile, or this one person makes me smile. What is your biggest positive from the WAFCON?
For me, at least discovering somebody like Ushebe in the midfield, because Rita was our main, number 10. But for her to come in during the Botswana game and to show us that she got this depth, for me, I think that is the takeaway for this tournament. And she's only 21, and she has so many years. 22, okay. She has so many years to at least play for us, and that's the only takeaway for me.
All right, thank you very much, Oluwatosin. Guys, we're going to move a little bit quicker because we've been on here for almost an hour and a half now, so we'll start right off. Let me go over to you, David, on YouTube.
Yes.
David,
yes.
So what is your one biggest positive, amidst all the disappointment of finishing fourth? What's the one thing that makes you, just smile about the WAFCON and the tournament that the Super Falcons have had?
Okay, football has improved over the years, and I think for the first time in a while, we have been able to have the combination of players with tactical ability. Back in the days, we used to struggle with players who couldn't really trap the ball. Yes, we would beat teams 5-0, 7-0 because they were also trying to develop their own football. But we are seeing a team where we have players that can actually pass, can trap, can run with the ball, particularly running with the ball. However, we have seen a team that has not been given the opportunity to play, or players that have not been given the opportunity to play in their right positions. So it's difficult for us to actually assess this team based on positional play or errors in positional play. So maybe I would say, yes, I've had the opportunity of watching or seeing great players. Rashidat, for me, has improved. She is one massive player. I watched her over the years, and I think she is a force to reckon with anytime, any day. She's doing great job in Atletico Madrid, and she's someone who, you give her another 1 year, it's definitely going to end up African best player, female best player, and that's for me. I've been opportune to actually watch good football, particularly when I look at the game against Morocco. We played fantastic football. We played them to their game. And like I said, if you have a game without a DM, you are in trouble. Ayinde gave us balance in the midfield. And that was why we were able to beat Botswana and Burundi. If you have a thick midfield that's going for you, you have very fantastic games. We suffered today because Ayinde was suspended and there wasn't any backup for her. The truth be told, she is just the best person for that position. We can get someone to push her, challenge her, so that if she messes up, she has someone who's going to take her place, and she would have to struggle to come back into the team. So for me, I'm not going to say sack the coach. Maybe I'll just leave with this. I'm not going to say sack the coach, but I think the coach should give the players the opportunity to play in their natural positions or the right position. And I think the coach also needs to observe. We need players or a midfielder that can actually be the connection between the defense and the attack. Until you have players that can actually pick those pocket spaces and then come back, because that was the problem we had today. We didn't have, Opobi actually did that, but because she isn't the right player for that kind of job. And that's basically why we struggled, because she needs someone who has the ability to actually see that, oh, there's a defender, Plumte is with the ball, Tony Payne is with the ball, Alozie is with the ball. I need to come back to those pocket spaces, pick the ball, and find someone in the midfield to pass the ball to. But we don't have that. So maybe the coach needs to look out for one of the players within that team, or someone they can invite who has that ability to link up play, the defense and the attack. For me, the girls are wonderful, and I'll give a shout out to every one of them. Aside my beloved friend Rita, who is getting old, she needs to rest.
All right, thank you, David. Okay, moving back now to this side. Rajezi, welcome. So I know you might want to complain on this thing a little bit. So
no.
Okay.
I like the angle you brought us to.
Okay.
Talking about the positives already. So, firstly, I'm highly impressed with Alimoto Ayinde because one, she's an old egg in this team and an experienced head. She's an experienced head and she really proved herself that okay, she's worth it in terms of her experience because she really hold that midfield in terms of her DM. The other player I'm very, very happy and impressed with, and I was delighted and happy, is Rashida Tajibade. She stepped up big time into the shoes of senior players because at the point in time, the biggest name we had, Desire, was she couldn't come. Oshuala got injured. And she stepped up big time and did a great job for us. So those are part of the positive. Now, the question I may want to ask about the coach is that the last time Nigeria won this tournament, Uche Ukeria, she won and she got sacked. She wasn't even able to go to the World Cup. Now, Randy Wardrum has failed woefully, even with having more time and a lot of preparation. Do you still think it's not a waste of taxpayers' money to have him take this set of girls to the World Cup? Fine.
You have to see. You wanted to make it pain us a little bit more. That's why I said taxpayers, just to make us know that it's your money.
It's my money. Like they pay me dollars.
So
funny enough, the scouting of this team, I think, has been poor in terms of player selection. Once you are selecting a team for a tournament, you don't just select one player for each position. At least you have two players and utility players that could play multiple roles, not like playing them out of position. I think the team selection here, like our left back, I don't think we have two left back. We don't have two players for each position.
You know what's funny?
And
he has two left backs on the team, but he benches the two of them. But he benches the two of them for Ashley Plumpton.
Select two players to waste a slot in your team. Two left back that are not playing. Yeah. That's -1 now. You're already having -1 without having suspension, without having injury. You are going to a tournament, a 3-week tournament. You think ahead because there will be suspensions, there will be injuries. Yeah. So why pick two players that will not even start? They are not regulars in your squad. It's a waste of slot. It shows his scouting has been poor. So Wardrum made us lose certain games in this tournament. Against Morocco, fine, the girls were tired out. You could have brought in... No, I'm also impressed with this lady, this home-based striker. I'm trying to remember her name. Gift Monday. She played well from someone coming from the local league. How many games did they play? In terms of the exposure, the little exposure she has, I think I was impressed. It can only get better once she gets to a
Give
better...
Monday 2 years in Europe.
She will explode. Yeah. And Rashidat is the next big thing coming out of this team. Highly impressed with her for the tournament. I think she will be in the running for MVP of the tournament. Even
I hope.
If she doesn't.
I think for that MVP, you know, these Moroccan people, if Chebak, because you know right now, Chebak has 3 goals, Rashidat has 3 goals, and I think Chebak has 3 goals. 3 goals, 1 assist. Rash has 3 goals and 2 assists. So right now, statistically, she's outperforming Chebak. But if Chebak should mistakenly score in the final tomorrow, or if Morocco should mistakenly win,
we'll turn it to prayer.
CAF will just say, if Morocco wins, you know.
And one funny thing I noticed in this tournament, CAF's player selection of women of the match, I think it has been horrible. I just think it has been shame. They always catch me if I see the winners when they announce like, what? These people watch this game. Like this Zambia match, honestly, I didn't watch it. I didn't have the belief that these girls, if they are win, I'll be happy. Fine. Because I wanted us to get to the final and whatever happened. And funny enough, it's good we lost now. Now there's no... Yes. we might not. We might just get to improve our game in the World Cup. I watched some highlights of the Women Euros, but man, I'm scared for this team. We should not go and wallop in big defeats in the World Cup. That's just my greatest fear.
All right, thank you very much.
Hopefully, maybe once we get the favorable draw at the World Cup, we go in as one of the best losers like we did the last time.
There's no room for best losers this time around. I hope you know.
There's no room for best losers.
No room for best. That's my fear now.
They've expanded the tournament
now.
No, they're allowing more people come, so there's no more best third place team at the Women's World Cup.
I don't think we'll have a problem. I don't think
you have to.
I don't think we'll have a problem playing at the World Cup. I don't think we'll have a problem playing at the World Cup. I think our major, yes, because we have players who, I think the crop of players we have now, we've never had them.
Exactly.
Yes, we've had Messi Akide. Yes, we've had Florence. We've had what's her name, Omagmemi, right? But we've never had this crop of players that are gifted tactically. Of course, they've been training, and that's why this is the end result of their training from wherever they started. But we will not have a problem playing any team at the World Cup. The major problem we're going to have is concentration, and that's why the coach needs to get his team ready before the World Cup. He needs to know the right players to play at the right position, because if they do not lose concentration, pace for pace, we're going to beat the players in Europe. I watched Ajibade play. I think I saw the game between Atletico and Barcelona, and you could tell that our players are up there. Pace for pace, our players will play. Skill for skill, our players will play. Shot for shot, maybe that's where we need to work. We need to do a lot of work with respect to finishing, because I saw Kanu miss an opportunity in the last game. She went under the ball, and these are things that you don't miss at the World Cup stage. You get these opportunities and you bury them.
So there was one chance that happened today in the first half. I was like, is this offside? I don't understand what was going on. A ball came in the air, and I think it was two headers. Somebody headed the ball down to Francisca Ojega in the box. I don't know if you guys remember this chance that I'm talking about.
I think it's the one Uchebi missed. Is it the one Uchebi missed?
Not the one Uchebi missed. No,
okay.
The other one. First of all, I'm thinking, why are you not heading this thing towards goal? And then secondly, when she headed it towards Franny, it was as if Odega too was not sure what to do. The Uchebi miss. While I think, yes, she should have hit it on target, I'm giving her a little bit of excuse there, because she took that first touch and two Zambian players were coming to, close her down. So she just kind of like rushed it. She didn't give herself that time to really concentrate on the connection. She kind of rushed it. And again, like I say, I honestly, if Uchebe scores a goal, I jump in joy, because I don't go into matches expecting Uchebe to score. I go into matches expecting Rashida to score, expecting Oluwonu to score, expecting, okay, if a goal is coming from midfield, it's coming from Ngozi Okobi. Do you understand what I'm saying? When I think of Christy, I think, okay, Christy is going into this game today. She's going to win 1 million tackles. She's going to intercept 5 balls. That's what I'm expecting Christy to do in a match. If she scores that day, we thank God. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that day, we say, thank you. She did something extra. And that's why,
like Mikel Obi scores.
Yeah, exactly. Because I see, this is what for the person who was disagreeing with me today. It's another thing that I was talking about with regards to the positioning. Because see, I'll break it down when I have the video and I'll post it online. But when you look at the way we're setting up, that Christie chance should be Okobi's chance. Okobi should be the main player that I think is playing centrally for us. And I understand that, okay, maybe Okobi naturally, she likes to operate from wide areas a little bit. So that's why coach wants to play her as the right center midfield, right center midfielder, so that she can operate from like a kind of wide area. But I think still, when it just comes to, if out of our 3 or 4 or 5, if we include Reginald too, we include Vitachi Koilu, we include Ayinde, we include the midfielders on the bench. And you say, who do you want a chance to fall to? And I know she didn't take the one in Morocco, but still, out of all our midfielders, who do you want a chance to fall to? It's Ngozi Okobi every day
Yeah.
out of the options that,
Yeah.
that we have. So that's why when you're now putting that in every time that we're supposed to create chances or when we're going to get the second ball, it's going to be falling to Christie. And again, guys that think Christie wasn't more advanced, watch. Whenever we get opportunities on the second ball from corner kicks, who was the ball falling to a lot of the time? It was Christie Ichibe. I'll go back and analyze this thing, but I just think that the coaches, they have to figure a lot of just as our pattern and how our players are actually set up on the field.
Yes.
Going to the World Cup, I mean, honestly, I think that they can do well. For me, it all depends on who they draw. Guys, we're going to end this live in 7 minutes, unfortunately. But yes,
Okay.
I think it all depends on who they draw at the World Cup. If you are stuck in a group with France, Spain, England, you're out. If you are stuck in a group with maybe they give you France and maybe they give you one team, maybe Haiti, or and they give you another team from South America that you have a good chance. If you play a good game, you can beat them. Look, we played against Portugal friendly, we did well. We played against Jamaica friendly, we did okay. So fingers crossed. Yeah, go on, Rajezi. Oh no, Rajezi, I have to pause you. I want Ola to speak. Yeah, Ola hasn't said anything yet.
All right.
And Henry, I'll come to you in a second. I see you.
Guys, you should look at it from this aspect. It's a good thing that our team goes into a tournament and we expect them to win, first of all. And when they don't achieve that, we feel disappointed. It's not a bad thing. I don't want everyone to just crucify these ladies, yeah? And again, this tournament from the beginning, they had ill luck. Look at the kind of goals they are conceding. It's annoying. I watched the highlight of the Zambia game and it's so annoying because I didn't watch the live game. Ill luck is part of it. And another thing, a team need to have an identity. When you're going to a tournament, there should be a style of play that we want to see and consistency on that style of play. I'm seeing more Super Eagles in these girls, yeah? If you look at the way Super Eagles started the AFCON tournament, we saw Moses attacking from the wings. We saw an identity, a style of play. We expected that in the next game. It's gone. These girls now, they come, like everyone is saying, players playing wrong position. How do you want to have an identity when even the players are not in their natural positions? It's a point. It's a point to note. So, and look at, there is this thing about African players. The last guy spoke about shots. Everyone's talking about shots. It's something about African players. I think they call it, is it technique or tactics? I don't know. Maybe Mr. Sulaiman can help us. Is it tactics or technique? Shooting. Technique. African players lack it naturally. It's the same thing with Super Eagles. We don't have a good crosser of the ball. They just
not teach the basic for. These things are taught when they were younger.
You can have all the skills.
You can't learn it when you can
dribble the whole field, but if you can't shoot, if you can't score free kicks, your team will suffer. So this is the same thing we are seeing over and over again. And the coach needs to have an identity. And if they will keep him, I'm not saying they should sack anybody. I'm not a fan of sacking and kicking people out every time. You can leave people to work on the project and they become a success over time. The coach looks like a man that has vision. It takes a daring coach to go into a tournament and not care about. I know Nigerian media can crucify any coach. We don't care who is there. Even Guardiola. If Guardiola comes to Nigeria, he will run. The media will finish him. So the coach didn't even care about anybody. He's playing the team how he likes, how he wants. So he's a daring coach. I think he's a man that can take them somewhere. People might disagree, but they should keep him.
I mean,
so
I will agree with you on his daring. He clearly doesn't care what we have to say. Let's see how much he cares now that we've had this result. But I mean, whether or not that's a good thing for us is a whole other debate. Is what I will say.
We shouldn't. I'm sorry to cut you short. I'm saying we shouldn't be hard on the girls. Look at the match from South Africa to now. Is either ill luck, officiating, one thing or the other. We are not happy about it, but the girls want to win as well. So look at it like that. Look at that goal. The ball smashed, is it Alozie on her face or Nadozie, the keeper on her face? So
but okay, so I want to let you go, Rajezi and Ola, before, so I just bring on.
Before I let you go, I beg, no bet.
No,
Senior man, real quick, you said something. Identity. Identity. Yeah. That is very, very key. I think that's one thing that we haven't talked about this team. Yeah. What is their identity? Now, the other that brings about for conversation, right? Are we in a transition? Is this team changing? Because of that, is that why they lack an identity? Is there a changing of the guard? Are we trying to phase out some of the older players? We've heard people say it's time for senior woman Rita to go because she lacks the pitch. She's a senior woman. I can't call her by her first name now. I'm a senior woman now. You know,
big lady. The big
lady. It's time for her to go. You know. So, do we lack an identity in how we play? Do we lack an identity in the overall structure of the team, right? And then when you look at certain positions, I would say we're unlucky. Yeah, the ball that came up from Nadozie today, like Ayo said,
very painful.
It had been coming. We've been hoofing the ball over to them, hoofing the ball, and then it finally came again at us. So at some point in time, when do we have a midfield synergy where the midfielders, when the fullbacks are coming with the ball, they are calling for the ball, right? It's supposed to be the link between the defense and the attack. They're the connectivity, right? They're the conduits.
Yeah.
Kind of like the quarterback. They're the ones who call the shots.
in this team.
They have it in Ayinde, but honestly, Ayinde is more of a defensive player.
We're talking about that distributor, the person that's going to spread play.
Yeah, someone who calls for the ball, gets turns, and here's the thing, right?
See, Sulaiman, I have to cut you short because I want to. We're almost out of time, and I want to try to just get to as many as possible. Ola and Rajezi, I have to let you go now. I want to bring two more people up just to give their thoughts so that we round off. But Sulaiman, we'll come back to that thought. And Henry, I want to jump to you. Henry's on YouTube joining us. Henry will be our final caller from YouTube before we round off tonight. Henry, and I want to ask you this question. I believe that you were hearing what Ola was saying. You know, he said we were a bit unlucky. You know, the goal today bounced off of Chamaka's face. You know, things like that. That is true. It bounced off her face. But then here's kind of like what I look at. You know, if Zambia luckily scores one goal against Nigeria, Super Falcons, is that enough for to say that Zambia luckily scored one goal, so Nigeria lost against them? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I've played FIFA against my younger sister before. She has luckily scored one goal before on FIFA. But when she scored that goal, I said, hey, I know my sister wants to beat me like this. And I stepped up and I scored 5 to make sure that she understands that no, you can't even play that kind of game here. So Henry, what do you say to that? Like, can we say that we were unlucky? Do you think that we can say that?
Good evening, everybody. Football is a game of luck. Without luck, you can't achieve a win. We can never say they were a bit lucky. Football is about any error, you capitalize on it in order to achieve your goal. For the issue of Super Falcons tonight, I've been following the series, how it goes. The setting up, the formation is the major blow. Which formation is this girl playing, Tony Payne? The coach have not figured out the right place for her. It's not that defense. You putting her in defense, you could see she's not flowing well. That is another thing they need to look at. Let's start from the defense. From that defense, Alozie is more of attacking player. You trying to convert her to defense, there's lapses. When you look at the lapses of Alozie, if you work with a team, European team, very technically sound team, they will finish Nigeria from that wing. You see those 2 wings, they will finish Nigeria from that wing. 5 and 6 is okay. But that 2 and 3, they need to work something in that. People might be saying it's okay. It takes a very good analyzed coach or anybody that is very technically sound to observe that. I'm a full S player. I play football. I could see in that. Coming to midfield, Okobi should be. I'm a midfielder during my time. Okobi, Uchebe, and Hide. and they are perfect midfielders, but there is something missing there. The positioning. Every one of them want to attack. If you see today match, there's lapses. With that Ainde, you could see the midfield is not coordinated. That is one thing we need to see. The Uchebe introductions to the team has brought a perfect midfield, brought a lot of changes to Super Falcons, the way the football, the way their movement is going now. And I'm just full of, I would say I'm very happy seeing Uchebe being introduced into Super Falcons, because the midfield against South Africa was really bad. And that was what South Africa used in finishing Nigeria. If you watch South Africa, the lady that played for them, very experienced from AC Milan. You could see she called the ball, as you said earlier. Whenever she spaced, she needed the ball. Give me the ball. She dropped back. Give me the ball. And she played to the one other girl that plays in Sweden. That is what they call the midfield. Not when a midfield want to win, not only winning the ball. Are you calling for the ball when they needed you to work with the ball? They are not creating that space to get the ball. As a four is just to get the ball, play to the side, look for available space, just open up the space in that midfield so that a central midfielder can get the ball, then distribute it to the attackers. That is what the Super Falcons are lacking. Okobi, he does not have positioning. She doesn't have positioning. She's in and out. She's winning the ball. She's trying to force the ball. But what part is she playing there? She's very good. She's strong. She covers, but she's still lacking. She doesn't have a particular role. She's really playing in Super Falcons. So they need to work that. Going to World Cup, you meet a team, and these are the things they will work at. We are playing Africa. The only team that is very sound is South Africa. Zambia would have beaten Zambia today by 4-5-0 if Nigeria has converted their chances today. We created a lot of chances, but the finishing was poor. I wouldn't fault them. But we need to work on the finishers. We don't have a super nine. Even Azizat now is not. If Azizat today will not convert all those chances too. The only person that I see in Super Falcons that can make that goal is Ajibade.
I won't lie. I so again, I don't know if you heard me at the start of if you were here at the start of the live. You know, I disagree with you a little bit on that one, Sha, because I don't believe in all those comparison football of this person cannot score this chance, that person cannot score that chance. Because me, I'll not lie to you. I watched that chance today. Even me, I think I will score it. So when you not tell me that Assistant will not score, it's like
No, I didn't say no. I'm sorry for cutting you short.
What I'm trying to say is like I don't think the chance was that difficult. You know, like she missed it. She happened to miss it today. But yeah, thank you, Henry. I'll stop you for now. I want to move back to Smidlai. Smidlai, please, in 2 minutes, so that we can round off. Your final guest on Instagram, Smidlai.
Okay, let me just say something. You know, I've been listening to you in the background on and off, and what I would say is this: see, if we don't call this spade, this team didn't do well. See, you know, when you say if I hate this people here, what if with you, what if they didn't score, what if what? No, I hate to hear those things. See, almost is nothing. Do it. Then clean it like Rico. Do it. Then clean your out. See, about the performance today, I just realized that has been coming. It has been coming, and I will just give you one example, not to waste time. Rashida scored one goal against Zambia in the last AFCON in Ghana. Wow, Ghana. Look at the combination play. This team is so wasteful. They are not even connected in attack. Even I'm very sure you're close to her. Inside her, she might be very economical with it. But we know that this is not the same team she played with when they went to Ghana. The pass was later, the combination was very good. But look at what is happening. This team is so wasteful. They don't know where they should stay. The coach too doesn't know what to do. Who scouted the coach? Oh, the man you finish watch him? Did you watch his game? Did you watch him? Because people just diss ourselves. This guy is taking us nowhere. And I feel everybody World Cup. There's no best of the game. So I want to say this thing finally. Now, this is the first time African team will have 4 teams. It used to be 3 teams before. It used to be 2 teams. It was 1 before. When it was 1, it's in Nigeria. When it was 2, it will be among them. When it was 3, but now 4, we now came 4th. You know, it's so sad that we find ourselves. Personnel.
Let's pray that.
You're muted.
I said let's pray that Cameroon can qualify so that will not be.
Yeah. So it could be. I just think that they should fire the coach. The guy is learning his job. He's learning his job. We can't be using Nigeria for experiments.
All right. I have to cut you off there, but I'm going to take it. I'll start from.
You said that too. That this coach has been learning on the job in this AFCON.
Yeah.
He has been figuring out what his starting 11 should be throughout the AFCON.
Yeah.
Sad.
No, I will say I'm definitely disappointed, but we have to go now. So I'll take it one by one. I'll start from YouTube and then I'll come to Instagram. So I'll start from David. David, you've been on here the longest. So I have just one question for everybody before you go. So David, with everything that we've discussed, with the situation that we have, let's look at what is on ground today. As at right now, as we're having this conversation, Coach Randy Waldrum is still the head coach of the Super Falcons, and we have just been knocked out of the WAFCON, finishing 4th. On a scale of 1 to 10, you know, and you can back it up in 30 seconds, but let's not talk too long. In 30 seconds, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence level heading to the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand next year?
Okay, if he plays the right players at the right position, I think I'll go for Randy. But if he keeps making these whole guesswork of trying to figure out who he should play in a particular place, then we might need to get someone either from Netherlands or from Germany. Because if you look at it, those people are doing a great job with respect to female football.
So what's your confidence level from 1 to 10?
5.
5. Half. All right. Fair enough. All right. Thank you very much, David. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Okay. Over to you, Prof. Data. Prof, what is your confidence level, heading to the World Cup on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay, I'll give the man 7 over 10.
7
over 10. And I need him to do these things. 1, we have the Under-20 World Cup next month, 10 to 28th of next month. We're with France, Canada, and I think Korea. And also the Under-17. These are places where players will come from. I also advise the NFA to ensure that both of these teams are handled well, so that we have a good, this will serve as a pool for other players to come into the team. The man has to do his homework. That's what I still see him doing well, but he has to do his homework to ensure he does well in the World Cup, because the World Cup this time around, there are no best losers. If you fail to advance, to take the runner-up position, you're out of the World Cup. There's nothing like best loser or whatever. And I still believe they can do well, because this World Cup will welcome a lot of teams that are not so strong. If you look in Asia, Philippines qualified as 4th best in Asia, and they will have some teams going for runner-up. Yeah. Japan qualified 3rd best, China's first. So, it depends on the group, but I still believe strong.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Okay, over Sulaiman, wait for your thought. Over to you, Harry. Harry, what do you think? What's your confidence level from 1 to 10?
What I saw in this competition, I would give 6. Reason is that the positioning of the players is invalid. And what I want to say is that I would like the coach to continue. This is not the time you need to change the coach. So that what happened to Super Eagles will not happen to Super Falcons. So let him continue and let him discover more players in a vital position where it's much needed in order to improve the quality of play. That's all.
All right, thank you very much, Henry. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And finally, Nnaemeka, you joined us late, so you can't talk too much, but I'll just give you 1 minute. So what's your confidence level, based on everything that we've seen in this WAFCON leading up to the World Cup?
Thank you. Ayo, you are doing a good job there. from the observation. So what I want us to look at is, and if you can also maybe add it on the platform so that people will suggest to random. Okay. Now this is the problem. I'm a player too. I play as a striker, and
where do you play?
Anyway, I played in UNEC. Then coming to America, then I tried out with Los Angeles Galaxy, Columbus, and all those stuff. So I'm here in California. So now the problem here is, if you look at from the beginning how we are playing, okay, and I did put it on the comments. Let the coach, okay. I will advise the coach to stay, but on the condition that he needs to change a lot of stuff, including all the friendlies that he's gonna be playing with America and the rest of the people before the World Cup. Let him play the players, okay, on their natural position. Let's say if Plumpy says, no, I'm not playing where you put me. This is where I play at my club level. Play her at her club level. The three center back that we have on the bench, you need to bring them in. You need to give them the opportunity to play. Let them play. Don't be afraid to lose, because it's because that she allowed Uchebe to play. That's why everybody is complaining that Uchebe is fantastic on the middle where she is, because she just allow her to play. Now you see, she play her every game. That's how she will identify the other people that she also put on the bench that she didn't even put at all. So that way, if you look at Penn, if you look at Alozie plays in the US, also Penn plays in Spain, but they are not playing at their natural place. That's the problem, because you see Penn. Each time she has the ball, she wants to move forward. She wants to move.
Please, round off very quickly, please.
But something is drawing her back, because, oh, you know what? If I move, oh my God, my space will not be covered. Oh, and they will blame me that I left my place and move forward. So that becomes like a hindrance. So I advise that if the coach, because this is not the time for us to kind of, make some changes, but we advise if the coach can make some adjustments, and let's play these people at their right place. Let's see how it turns out before the World Cup. That's my suggestion.
All right, thank you very much. And what did you say your confidence level is? I didn't get a number from you.
Okay. My confidence level in terms of them in the World Cup, is that what?
Looking forward to the World Cup.
Yeah. No. I think.
Yeah, but on a scale, just give us on a scale of 1 to 10. Just give us a number.
1 to 10, I'm gonna give them 8.
8.
Yes, 8. Subject to just little improvement, because another thing is that if you watch, that's why the coach couldn't read well on tired. If Onumonu is tired, don't be afraid to remove.
Right. I have to cut you off because we are out of time, and
okay. I've done well.
No, next time, see, you came late. Next time, come from the start. You have had enough time to speak. But thank you very much, Namika. I enjoyed your talk. Don't worry. Thank you very much for giving your thoughts. Thank you to everyone that joined us on YouTube. Okay, so over to you. Very quickly, Sulaiman. Yes, we're back to Instagram.
Let me have talked. I'll give them a C- and a 4/10.
Sulaiman, is Nigerian that are on this? They don't know what C- is. Give them score like we know in Nigeria, which are C-.
Okay, that's true. I've left Nigeria a long time ago. So what are our grades again? F9, P7, P8, P7.
So
C3,
I don't
C4, C3 or what? Somebody help me out, please. I will give the coach a P7.
Is it now pass?
P7.
Now when they secondary school, you're supposed to help Sulaiman out. Now D7 is D7.
Now D7 now.
D7.
Now D7.
Oh, they are changing it now. Shows you how long you are at secondary school.
You're aging yourself, Sulaiman.
Hey, it is what it is. I give them a C. I just can give them a C. But every F9, they qualify for World Cup now. See what now. Nigerians are wicked, though. Oh no, 4/10. There is nothing about this outcome that we're going to be sitting here and be and bragging about. Outside of, you didn't ask me though. Uchebe was a revelation. Ashley, to actually see her be able to play out of position and be able to handle it, and then play center back in the last 2 games. Rashidat, the star of the future, very, very obvious. And Ayinde, we need a replacement for Ayinde because we don't have the depth for him. Sad.
All right, and Smith Larry, final thoughts for me. Thank you very much, Sulaiman.
For the players, nigga, I won't score the players, but I will keep the coach is 0. And the reason why I'm going to get the coach 0 is this. I can't score a coach. As a left winger, I doesn't know his primary position. I can't score a coach that keeps on playing fullbacks, wingers as fullbacks, and it's not working. I can't score a coach that does not know what to do in a game. So what will I do? Let me tell you something. This World Cup qualification, I think the players did it. So I still see the impact again of the coach there. So for me, I don't have any expectation. I just think that not just to bring at 8, they just fire the man. That's my thing. And kudos to you too, Eagle Striker. I was watching on YouTube, switching YouTube and switching to this thing. He's a very good job. But why can't you say to Facebook too? So that you have audience.
No, it's on Facebook as well. Right now, we're streaming on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the same time at the moment. So it's only Instagram that is disconnected from the others. Every other person is getting the same stream. Only Instagram that is disconnected. But yes.
So just few questions before you go. So you did not come. You didn't your trivia this thing again.
Well, we'll be back. Don't worry. We've been busy with the WAFCON. The trivia. I know people have been asking me. The trivia will be back. Don't worry. If you want to sponsor, send a DM. Come and sponsor us. For those of you watching on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, please, guys, support the brand, support Eagle Striker, buy our merchandise on etmerchng.com, hire our services, social media management, branding, promotion. If you have music you want to promote, hire our services. We currently reach over 1.5 million people every week, guys. We reach over 1.5 million people every week. So if there's any product or service you want to market, we have more than enough people that can see your product and buy your product, or hire your services. So support the brand. Check out our websites. Download the app if you haven't downloaded the app. Available on the Google Play Store. iOS coming soon. I know I've been saying it, but just like how Whiskey to tell you that it's dropping a song tomorrow. But iOS app coming very soon. We're working on it. I promise you guys. You're going to show me this,
and some people would like to support your brand. They might not even want to buy. You just want to support Eagle Striker. So how can they support you?
So I'm trying to think. Okay, I think if you want to support if you don't want, I don't really like donations. I won't lie to you. I'm not the person that really likes donations. But if you would like to support, send a DM. We'll figure something out. I'll think of a way that I can add value back to you, and make sure that you're getting something because, I'm somebody that I believe, you give, you get, you do something good, you get something back. So yeah, if you would like to support, you're not really interested, just send us a DM. I'll find a way to, offer value back to you, so that is a win-win for everybody. Thank you, Smilai, for helping us to raise this movement and talk about things like this. It's been a pleasure. I'll let you go now, Smilai. Thank you very much. Okay. So thank you very much, guys, for joining me on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, everywhere. I've enjoyed this conversation. Unfortunately, we are out of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations as the 4th place team. Very disappointing. We were going for 10 and we end up with nothing, nothing to show for it. I would not fault the players. I spoke to players throughout this tournament, bits and parts. I spoke to 2 players this morning. This morning before the match, I spoke to 2 players. They wanted to win it. Yes, they did protest. Yes, they were unhappy with the NFF. But trust me, they wanted to win this. They wanted to win this match. They wanted to. Tony Payne was on our live earlier. She was watching us. Tony Payne, this is her first WAFCON. It might not be gold, but trust me, she wanted a medal. Christy Uchebe was here as well. It's her first WAFCON. It might not be gold, but trust me, Christy wanted a medal. Ashley wanted a medal. All those debutants, trust me, they wanted their medal. So the players are just as pained or even more pained than we are. It's very unfortunate. We are very sad, but let's keep supporting the team. I will say to the girls, you gave a lot. You tried, you showed your spirit, you showed your heart. And I will say to the technical team, you guys have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of work to do. Nigerians have lost faith in you, Coach Randy. That is the honest, blatant, simple truth. Coach Randy Waldrum, Nigerians have lost faith in you. I think the challenge is now on Coach Randy. How can you step up? How can you improve? How can you work with the girls and get them into a better side? I don't think they're going to sack him. Honestly, I don't think they're going to sack him. So if Coach Randy Waldrum is the one that is leading us to the World Cup, Coach Randy, between now and next year in the summer, what can you do? I want to make that trip down under. Like I've been saying it, I'm excited. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to New Zealand. In my life, I never thought I would go to those places, but the Super Falcons are taking me there. I just pray and I hope that my trip to New Zealand and Australia next year is going to be a fun-filled one. It's going to be a fantastic one, and it partly depends on the style of play and the performance that the Super Falcons are going to give. So thank you very much to everyone that has joined, everyone that has shared their thoughts on every platform. My first time streaming on 4 platforms simultaneously. And honestly, I enjoyed it so much. The going back and forth, everything was interesting. Please buy our merchandise, share our posts, like our posts, just tell people about Eagle Striker. Let's spread the word. Keep supporting Nigerian football. My name is Ayotsi. This is Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian footballers. And have yourselves a wonderful night. Until next time.